So I finished the Outer Worlds about a week ago, and figured to share my quick thoughts. I don't have a plan or anything, so bear with me. It's made by Obsidian, which I'm sure you guys know. They're the ones that made Fallout New Vegas. They also made Knights of the Old Republic 2. They made Dungeon Siege 3, and then they did the South Park: The Stick of Truth. They did a bunch of other stuff. I believe they did the Pillars of Light or Pillars of Light series, which I haven't actually played, but I want to. And I mean, they've done a bunch of stuff. They're made up of people from like the original Fallout developers, like Fallout 1 and 2, and like most of their games, it's pretty good. I was surprised that there weren't that many bugs with the game compared to some of their other ones, because I feel like this one, since they had like a publisher early on, they weren't worried too much about crunch time. But there were a couple things in the game that I felt were incomplete or unfinished. There wasn't much. Like the game's like it's a finished game. It doesn't feel like they cut out much, if anything at all. But there's I can't remember the name of it, but it's on Monarch, one of the planets you go to, and it's some ruins, and there's a door that you can go to, and it says sealed. And so most people, I had to Google this because I was like, is there a way to get into it? Most doors, when they say sealed, that means that you can get around there. Like there's stuff behind it, but it's not like, you can't just not go in there. You just have to find a way around it. But it turns out that it's just, there's nothing really behind. I mean, there is some stuff behind there. Like some people, they glitched into it on I think on PC, and I was reading some stuff and I was watching a video on YouTube where there's some items, there's some chests and whatnot. So it seemed like they planned on having something in there, but they just kind of scrapped the idea. Maybe they ran out of time or realized that it wasn't that important. But some people, they realized like that it wasn't textured all the way. There was clipping, like you can go through the building. There was no like hit detection or whatever. So it's definitely incomplete. Like there was some plan, or probably some plan for it, but it never came to fruition. But other than that, I mean, the game's amazing. It's probably one of my favorite games of 2019. And granted, I didn't really play that many games from 2019, but still, it was a solid 8.5 out of 10 in my opinion. The combat system was good, but I did like the game because like you didn't really have to use combat that much. It's like most first person, no, not first person role playing games, but like games like Skyrim and Fallout and whatnot. Like you have your charisma and speech checks where you don't have to kill everybody in the game or kill that many people. So, but like the human enemies, you don't have to, or the bad people, bad guys, or if you want to be bad guys or the good guys or whatever, whoever side you choose. You don't have to kill them. You can convince them to step down or join your side or whatever, like traditional Western RPGs. Now there are people that you have to kill in the game, like the Marauders and the monsters and stuff like that. There's quests that we get to, so obviously you have to do combat. But combat was fluid. Wasn't really any issues with it. You can change the difficulty if you need to. Like if you're having an issue with the game, you can change the difficulty, which I really like in games, because sometimes it's just like I just want to sit back and relax. I don't want to be frustrated. But sometimes I want to have a challenge, so you can change the difficulty whenever you want. You lower it down, you can raise it up, whatever you want to do. There's I can't remember the name, what it's called, but there's a really hard mode where in the regular, modes, your companions don't die. They just get knocked out, and then after battle, they come back. Well, in the hard mode, in the super hard mode, they die, and then they're permadeath. And then there's I don't know what other things are in it, but I mean, I don't really enjoy games like that because it's not me. I don't really care. I know a lot of people like that kind of stuff, but to me, not really. So there's that, and then the story was really good. I'm not gonna spoil anything really. It's corporations have gone wild. You're in space. You're fighting against corporations, or you could join their side if you want. It's not. I mean, that's like on the back of the freaking box. So the story's really good. The companions, I wish they fleshed out a little bit more. I mean, they're pretty good companions, but nothing like New Vegas or the Elder Scrolls games or Dragon Age or Mass Effect. But it just they felt kind of incomplete. Sorry. But I still enjoyed the companions enough than their stories. And the one thing I actually did enjoy more than I was kind of hoping for, but then realized like it really worked out too. There's no romance options in the game, and I really enjoyed that because it felt more natural. Like they're your crew, you're not going to be hitting on them all the time, and I like that. And I was surprised at first when I read that there's no romance options, but it worked out and I enjoy it. And I kind of wish more Western RPGs would kind of go that route of like not shoehorning in, frickle-frackling your companions. But other than that, I mean, it was the writing was really good. The animation, the graphics it felt like a Fallout game, and then kind of Borderlands-ish, like cartoonish. And I thought it was pretty good. Like it wasn't overly cartoonish. It wasn't overly dark. I mean, it just felt when things were supposed to be light, things were light, and then when things were supposed to be dark, things were dark. And I really enjoyed that. Just everything about the game felt good and solid. The length was great. There's replayability. If you want to do it another way, or you want to go a peaceful route, or you want to kill everybody, I believe you can kill everybody in the game if you want to. I believe that's an option, because I don't believe anybody's unkillable. I don't know. I don't really play games like that. Makes me feel bad. But I know you can do like kind of a pacifist option where you're not killing anybody that you don't have to. And then, so I mean, there's replayability. There are so many secrets that you can uncover. I hope for a sequel because they left some things open at the end, so I really hope there's a sequel. If there's not, then, well, that sucks. But I figure since I got bought by Microsoft, then Microsoft's gonna, give them more money, obviously, which is gonna be good. And then there's a sequel going to come out. And now that games are starting to kind of thinking about going on cross-platforming, like the MLB The Show, which is a Sony IP, they said that it's going to be on different consoles, which is cool. So maybe just because it's owned by Microsoft doesn't mean that it's just going to be on Microsoft consoles themselves. So I'm looking forward to the announcement of The Outer Worlds 2. But yeah, that's about it. Trying to think, really, I don't really have anything else to say about the game other than it's worth it. Oh, the length of the game, I don't know why I forgot about that. I mean, you can finish it if you do, most things, 20, 30, 40 hours. If you're like me and have to do everything in the game and take your time, it took me about 80, 90 hours. I know that there's some people that finish it in 12 minutes, which is crazy to me, but I mean, if you want to finish it in 12 minutes, then you can finish it in 12 minutes, I guess, speed run through it, which I kind of see how they could do it, because there's a part early in the game where you can just skip past it and go somewhere. But yeah, that's my opinion on The Outer Worlds. Like I said, an 8.5 out of 5, or 8.5 out of 5, 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, definitely get it if you're wondering about getting it, and all right.